Pokémon Scarlet and Violet have been out for a little while now, which has given me some time to gather some awesome secrets and Easter eggs about the games. Pokémon games always hide these sorts of things throughout each game, and Scarlet and Violet are of course no exception, which is why I'm going to be going over 10 amazing secrets and Easter eggs that I have found so far in Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. And with that said, let's just get right to it. We may be talking about Easter eggs here, but we are officially into the Christmas season, which is why I am super grateful for today's amazing sponsor, Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co., and their amazing Christmas-themed boxes. Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. are boxes filled with Japanese snacks and treats that come straight from Japan, and this month it's all about the Christmas season. Tokyo Treat's theme is Santa's Snack Fest and brings you all of the modern trendy treats, while Sakura Co. focuses on Japanese tradition, hence why its theme for this month is Tochigi Tradition. From milk tea flavored Kit Kats to salted caramel Pocky to these donuts, which are really good, both of these boxes have a ton of yummy stuff to offer, and by using the links below and code HOOPS at checkout, you can get $5 off your first box of either, which not only helps to support the channel, but it makes for a great gift, especially because they're also giving away a free ticket to Japan, and anyone who grabs a box through my link will be entered into the giveaway. So be sure to check that out to get your holiday snack on, and a big thank you to Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. for supporting the channel. Alright, so it goes without saying at this point, but this video will contain spoilers, and this will probably be one of the last times I warn about spoilers at this point, since the game has been out for a good amount of time now, so consider yourselves warned. With that said though, let's go ahead and mention an Easter egg that appears right at the beginning of the game. It's implied at the start of your adventure that the player character in Scarlet and Violet is actually from the Galar region, which is pretty cool, as it's mentioned that the player and their mom just moved into the house that you're living in, you have a pet Squavit, your mom offers Clavel some tea when he shows up to your house, and the linchpin to all of this is that she says the word cuppa, which is a classic piece of British slang. A little later on in the games, you will find your way to Naranja/Uva Academy, depending on which game you're playing, and while you can get in and out of this location as quickly as you'd like, if you look around a little bit, you'll find some interesting details. In the main entrance hall, there are various books amongst all of the different bookshelves which you can read, and one of them is called Galar, a History, which is the book that Sonia was working on publishing during the events of Sword and Shield, which is not only a great Easter egg in its own right, but the book also details some of the events of Sword and Shield themselves, confirming that Scarlet and Violet take place after the events of the Galar games, which is yet another really cool revelation. One of the new Paldea Pokemon that was revealed prior to the game's release is Gimmighoul, and Gimmighoul's entire gimmick is that it likes to find and collect coins. This aspect of its character pretty much confirms that part of its design is a reference to both what it does as a Pokemon and also to the original Pokemon titles, Pokemon Red and Blue, as Gimmighoul's antennae resemble the appearance of the item finder from the Gen 1 titles, which in my opinion makes Gimmighoul a whole lot cooler. The next couple of secrets I'm going to share have to do with the technical, behind-the-scenes side of the games. According to Twitter user and data miner Matt Ukana, Pokerus, the famous beneficial virus that your Pokemon randomly contract and that has been around since Gen 2, is strangely not in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Matt reports that there are no assets in the data of the games relating to Pokerus, and it cannot be found on wild Pokemon either. He even says that Pokerus will not work as intended when a Pokemon is forcibly given the virus, pretty much confirming it was not included in the games whatsoever, which is pretty unusual given its constant, long-standing presence in the franchise. This next behind-the-scenes secret is actually a new addition to Scarlet and Violet this time around, and it's a pretty handy one. Courtesy of GameXplain, there's actually a secret way to access backup save data in Scarlet and Violet, which can be extremely useful if your game happens to crash or something due to the unfortunate performance issues the games can sometimes have. While on the game's title screen, if you press X, B, and up on the D-pad at the same time, you will access what is essentially a secret backup save file that can be accessed at any time and, according to GameXplain, even if you have autosave turned off, which is an extremely useful feature to have, which the games don't really tell you about at all. With a new set of Pokemon games comes a new set of Pokédex entries, and oftentimes, that even includes older Pokemon as well. One older Pokemon that got a new dex entry in these games is Foongus, and its dex entry actually reveals a potentially huge piece of lore, as it mentions in its Scarlet dex entry that there is a theory that the developer of the modern-day Pokeball really liked Foongus, but this has not been confirmed. While admittedly it does say that this is an unconfirmed theory, this dex entry is basically implying that Foongus and the Pokeball pattern of its mushroom is actually the inspiration for the design of the modern-day Pokeball, instead of this just being a coincidence or being the other way around. Another Easter egg in these games that provides a huge lore revelation has to do with the Paradox Pokemon Roaring Moon. Now, this Pokemon is clearly a past form of Salamence, but it also has a striking resemblance to Mega Salamence as well. However, this resemblance isn't just surface level, because in both Roaring Moon's Violet Pokédex entry, as well as in the article about it in the Occulture magazine, which can be found in various places throughout the region, it actually makes this comparison to Mega Salamence itself, saying that it looks similar to Salamence when they undergo a certain phenomenon elsewhere in the world, but it's unclear if there is any connection. This is not only a nice reference to Mega Salamence and to Mega Evolution, but it also confirms that Mega Evolution exists in the world of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is huge in terms of the lore and timeline placement of these games, since we of course know that there are two separate timelines in the Pokemon world, one where Mega Evolution exists, and one where it doesn't. This, theoretically, could also allow for Mega Evolutions to be added into the games later on in DLC, however, that's probably unlikely, but it is a pretty cool revelation regardless. This next one is one that I actually mentioned as part of a larger discussion in a previous video on hints to the next Pokemon game being in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which you can check out right here, but in short, the beginning of the theme of Cabo Poco, which is your hometown in these games, is actually the same as the beginning of New Barktown's theme, which is of course your hometown in the Johto games. I also mentioned in a previous video on Scarlet and Violet facts how Paldean Wooper could have possibly been inspired by the Pokédex entries of regular Wooper, since it mentions Wooper covers itself in a toxic film when on land, and Paldean Wooper is a land-based form that is also poison type. However, Wooper isn't the focus here, because I wanted to talk about how the same thing could have actually happened with Primeape's new evolution, Annihilape. In Primeape's Pokemon Sun Dex entry, it actually provides what is now an allusion to Annihilape, where it states that it has been known to become so angry that it dies as a result, with Annihilape, of course, being a ghost type. It's possible that Annihilate could have either been inspired by this dex entry, or that the dex entry was indeed an allusion to this new evolution years before the evolution was even revealed. And last but not least, did you know that there was a hint hidden in plain sight that Cassiopeia, aka Penny, was actually the leader of Team Star all along? The name Cassiopeia comes from the constellation of the same name, which only makes sense given this character's association with the Team Star storyline. However, what is less well known is that the names of each of Team Star's various squads, Shedder, Calf, Navi, Rookbach, and Sagan, are actually the names of the 5 brightest stars in the Cassiopeia constellation, which is not only a really cool connection, but is also a giveaway that Cassiopeia is actually part of the team, if you're enough of an astronomer, that is, to actually know these names. And with that said, those were 10 amazing secrets and Easter eggs from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new, because at the time of writing this, we are almost to 300,000 subscribers, and I cannot wait to hit that number, I cannot believe we're about to hit that number, and I cannot thank you all enough for helping me to do so. If you'd also like to see another secrets and Easter eggs video on Scarlet and Violet, be sure to let me know as well, as there are certainly many more in the games than just these 10. And with that said, I will also be back with another new video very soon. And until then, as always, thank you all so much for watching this one. I really, really appreciate it, and I will smell you guys later.